Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in this weird, wacky world. This is a scene for Vampire the Masquerade, Darkness in Dublin venue. I got that backwards, but that works. Tonight we have Alexander, Charlotte, and Katrina gathering to discuss a party that Katrina is throwing, uh, sort of a send off to the end of the world, so to speak. And they've gathered at the warehouse that Katrina and Alexander own. And it's a bare bones warehouse. We have all three of them sitting at an old kind of rickety table, and then some like old lawn chairs set up pretty much. It's a very bare bones warehouse, not much in it yet. Construction going on, but that's where we have our scene set tonight. And let's go on and get into it.
All right. Alexander arrives 5 to 10 minutes before time, and he strolls into the building very slowly, walking with an umbrella, like the umbrella as a cane. Not that he's leaning on it, but more of a distinguished walk. Is Katrina already there?
Yes, Katrina is already there. She got there about an hour beforehand to see what's going on with the renovation, see how construction is coming along, and just looking at the building and admiring how industrial it looked, quite honestly. And for her, she can already see in her mind's eye how it's going to be when finished. So she's quite fascinated by how it's going to end up being. So she's wandering around. Right now, she is on the technically third floor, but it is the second used floor.
Yep, I know where you mean.
She's
So
on.
he will walk on through the building. He's carrying a shoulder bag. He's carrying some sort of tablet on which he is typing and keeping a checklist, so it seems, of all the things that he feels like this building should have and more. So you can see him like he's already making a pre-inspection before she's leading towards him, but he's doing his inspection in a straightforward way, moving towards her, making just his first observations.
Good evening, Alexander. How are you today?
Dr. Green, well, interesting to finally meet again. I am splendid today, I suppose. Yes, we are.
Katrina will respond and say, "How do you like how things are coming along?"
I enjoy the quickness in which it has already started to take form in my mind, and I guess in yours as well. The building is already completed. It's just a matter of putting the things where they actually belong. But I can
Yes,
see where it needs to go.
yes, I'm seeing it in the same way, except right now everything that's not completed yet is kind of grayed out for me, mentally at least. It's just coming to light. It's a wonderful process to see.
It is indeed an interesting process to see. I am, however, going to be judging the building on partially finalized project. So we'll probably not get through a perfect building inspection, but that's not what I intend to search for. If I got it right, and we'll wait till Charlotte's here to get fully into that. But you're wanting to have a Y2K party. Now, please do me a favor. Remind me again what that is.
And in 1999, a whole bunch of people were fearing that the world would end when the clock struck midnight on New Year's Eve. Well,
A
New
flow,
Year's Day.
a flow
People
of stability. Yes.
so people were quite honestly doomsday prepping and
Ah.
having a last hurrah kind of deal, and then just waiting with bated breath after the clock struck midnight for planes to fall out of the sky, the oceans to overflow, and just uh, a massive catastrophe. And when that didn't happen, people rejoiced in it and went about their normal lives. But it was a little odd for a while.
Ah, now I understand. So
So
I understand that you don't mind that the building isn't done when you're doing the party. It must feel like it's okay to be here because it doesn't matter to be here.
exactly. I think if the building was completed, that would ruin the vibe a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it would. Yeah, it almost must look like a rundown house ready to give up. But of course, that's not what it must have. It must have certain things. I assume that toilets need to be working, so we need running water, stuff like that, hot and cold.
Yes, we're underway with that. That should be completed within the next 4 to 5 days, I believe. And I can get a few toilets in. If worst come to worst, I can get a couple of porta potties in.
That could work. That could work.
If
The problem,
necessary, it will be done.
the problem with the porta potties that will have to be outside of your establishment.
Not necessarily. I could have them in the on the first floor.
I advise against it. The
Very
smells
well.
the smell is going to be terrible if you're going to make it a mixed thing.
True.
So I suppose at that point in time you will hear the arrival of a car pulling up and the crunch of gravel coming from outside. Their
That
door, the engine will cut. The car's parked. A door will open. A door will close, and there is the crunch of gravel underneath heels, walking towards the building.
that must be Charlotte.
Indeed, it is.
Let's go down and greet her. I don't think she's been here before.
Indeed, let's do this. And Alexander starts walking towards Charlotte.
Um,
Katrina's
First,
following.
she's standing outside, kind of just with her arms crossed, and kind of just apprising the condition of the building. Like she's also, I don't think, did you guys tell her why she was coming here?
yeah,
Okay.
Alexander told her that he wanted to go over the building, and then he needed to talk to Charlotte about making sure that the building is protected because she
Okay.
wants to have a Elysium. There need to be certain things in place for it to have a certain level
Of
of protection.
of course. Um. So Charlotte actually, she's dressed. She's wearing pants today mostly for the sake of comfort, but a really nice white blouse, maybe a cream colored blouse with a necklace that's kind of like a collar that's
Char-
over
Char- Charlotte can make a roll on what Alexander is wearing.
a roll.
Yeah, make me a perception roll.
Um,
Perception, alertness, or
uh,
you have
so
fashion. You have something in fashion, right?
and no, I do have heightened senses though.
Yeah, you can use that. It lowers your
Okay,
difficult stuff.
so perception, alertness. I'm not gonna worry about heightened senses. I have acute sense of sight. So I think that lowers the difficulty by like two, I think.
Yep.
But yes. Could somebody roll me 5 dice, please? I guess standard diff, so difficulty 4,
Mm-hmm.
please.
You want us to roll?
Yes, please, because I don't want the call to drop. Thank you.
You have three successes.
You can touch.
You can see that the suit he's wearing is made of Kevlar.
Hmm, interesting. But yeah, she'll um greet the two of them when they come down to the outside. When she looks at Alexander, she's like, Kevlar? Why?
Because it helps against the wear and tear of a building inspection. And he picks up from one of the tables around a white building inspecting helmet, and he hands the doctor and Charlotte one.
Uh, I suppose so. And still put it on her head.
We are going to walk through this building, and I'm going to request some things that need to be there in order to have this building pass minimal inspections
Of course.
and be ready for um, any sort of security measures. So since we start at the beginning, um, I say, Dr. Green, if you would explain to me what your vision is of the entrance in its not yet done state, I will see if I need to add things that need to be put there for security. Is that okay with you?
Yes, the entrance is mostly done as far as I would see it. There is a separation from what will end up being the pool area, so that's not even to be worried about. The entrance uh, is set up to where there's just a line. Well, I'm gonna have to put a rope out for a line, and then you walk straight in, double doors, and there's a stairway to go up one flight, a little landing, and then the second flight of stairs to enter into the technically third level, but the level of the club where the party will be.
What do you intend for the third level and what do you intend for the second level? What happens there?
The second level is nothing. Most of it is open to the pool, so there is a very high ceiling. Uh, the landing is quite literally nothing. It's just so we can turn around to get to the second set of stairs. Uh, for the club area where I want the party held, I want to do wall to wall sound with, in all honesty, I think not quite antique yet, but the old huge speakers that you can just feel when you're near them.
Mm-hmm.
And the old, like those speakers set all around the building. We can have them Bluetoothed somehow, or I can just get regular speakers. That would work too. We can have them all Bluetooth so it's the same music going through. And we'll have a few tables and chairs. Uh, I can get a mini bar pulled up. Mostly, I want to do some, maybe a few strobe lights, disco lights. In all honesty, Charlotte, you may cringe at this, but I think part of the fun of this will be if it is and she'll do air quotes, a tacky theme. And
Um, I mean, I suppose. I mean, I was around in the 70s, and disco was a thing then.
the 90s fashion was almost worse than the 80s fashion. So, especially with
You can
New Year's,
you
it
can you can speak for yourself on that one.
it almost was worse. But I'm thinking a lot of silver and gold glitter everywhere and very much a
Okay.
bare bones for the dance floor and just a bunch of people everywhere talking and doing whatever they want for what could very well be the last night of their lives.
Okay. So the questions that I have is it strictly going to be dancing? Is there not going to be any kind of lounge areas for people to sit down and talk and that sort of thing?
I do
Uh,
want to set up a bit of a lounge area. I think
mm-hmm.
a third of the building could be taken up by that. That would.
Which floor?
Oh, it could also be on this floor. It could just be to the side.
I don't think that will work with the way you have your boxes planned. Because if you're going to do it wall to wall, it's going to bounce off each other. It's going
Yeah.
to fill the entire room. You won't be able to talk.
You could probably utilize one of the other floors
Yep,
as
smarter.
perhaps a lounge area for people to go maybe get drinks or
All
food
right.
or anything of that sort. Who are you
The
inviting to this?
Before we get to that, she'll have like a little small grin on her face. Like before we go there, uh,
See, Charlotte raises an eyebrow pretty high at that.
like
Yeah.
don't worry, don't worry. Um, she'll say, we can utilize the third floor. The third floor has got the walls set up for rooms, but it does not have any of the furniture yet because that third floor is going to eventually be my location. And it's not because
Okay.
it's still open, the walls to the actual stairwell are still open. One between us three, once everything is said and done and completed, long from now, that stairwell will be closed off and a nearly secret entrance.
I
But for
see.
now, it's open, it's fine. We can use that third level, or technically fourth level.
Okay. Um. Hmm. So you're wanting dancing on the main level, right?
Yes.
And then what on the second level?
The main level is just entrance, or the first level. The ground level is just entrance.
Oh, I
The
see. I
level
see. Okay.
the level above is what's available to party goers, and what's available for this part of the building is only a
Mhm.
stairwell to get to the next level, which is
Mhm.
technically the third level, but the second visible level.
I see. I think I
That
understand you.
it's a two flights of stairs up,
Right. I see.
and that level where those after the two flights is where the party will be, the
Mhm.
dancing,
Okay.
and the level
And it's
above will be
lounging.
the lounge.
I see. Okay. Um. Hmm.
While they're walking through the building and Charlotte's asking her questions, you can see Alexander do a few things. So he's walking along windows, touching or feeling doorposts and window tills. He is looking at corners and poking with his umbrella into them to see if there's any bad jobs done already.
Mhm.
There's no carpet yet, but he can see floorboards. He'll tap them and see if the electrical wire is very close to the wood. He's gonna
Uh.
try the taps that are available to make sure that he can find hot and cold water. He doesn't. He knows where the toilets are, of course, and he'll nod. He approves of that. He just then walks over, looks at the room in a way that only at this moment Katrina knows what he's looking at because he knows the room as well as she does.
Yeah.
And he says, "Okay, so I've made an assessment and I've a few ideas what you can do. You're gonna have a lot of music. Probably people want to have some food, so you're gonna have a lot of in input and external export in this area. What you need to do is free up the back room, make an area there. You can put a tent up there, that's no problem. Where you get your stuff inside the building, your food, your drinks, those are personnel that need to be secure. The front, the front of the house needs to be like we intended to have the club, but there needs to be at least a ghoul or two with auspex to know what's what and who's who.
I may have you covered on that. Um,
We need to make sure that the toilets are also outside. And since people are going to do what they think is right, there's going to be a lot of drug use and cigarette use. Now, I can buy off the police, that's no problem. Point is, we mustn't be spot selling it. That doesn't mean we shouldn't sell it, we shouldn't be spotted doing it. So I advise to only sell the drugs on the top floor.
I
But to
would
get
suggest I would suggest that as well.
to get to the
Oh,
top floor, people need to pay. That's the sort of making sure that they're willing
mm,
to pay money in order to get to the good stuff.
I do agree with Alexander on this. Um,
Meaning the top floor, meaning the floor above the lounge.
Yes.
yes.
No, the lounge. I mean the
Okay.
lounge,
Oh, I think
not
that
the
the
dancing
lounge.
area.
I think that the lounge is definitely the place where people will go to partake of those sorts of things.
Yep.
Um,
Kindred
so
will be here, I assume.
who
Correct.
else?
Everyone. Everyone who's not human.
When
Everyone
you
who is fighting
mm,
against Ishtar.
okay, so when you say not human, there are mm, individuals out there who are human, who are mortal, but they're gifted in certain sorts of ways. Are
Oh,
you allowing?
you mean the mages?
Yes, I mean the mages.
Oh yes, them I don't consider oddly enough, I don't consider them human mortal as they have
Okay, nothing.
such
So
abilities.
any supernatural entity who wishes to come is allowed to come.
So that includes the possessed. Interesting.
No,
No
I
demons.
don't. I don't think that would be wise.
Why not?
Kindred, lupines, fair folk, mages. I
The
mean
demons.
demons.
The demons will come.
Uh,
Okay,
They'll be attracted to it. I think.
Yes, they will be
question.
attracted to it. I'm absolutely sure they will be attracted to it.
Question.
Maybe we charge them an extra cover fee.
You won't know if they're human or not.
True.
I have a
Um,
question, you two.
go
Are
ahead.
the demons helping us in our fight for Ishar to get rid of Ishar?
I, I,
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. I know that the mages are, and I know that I'm pretty sure that the lupines are. I'm not sure, and I know, of course, we are. I'm
Yeah.
going to be there myself. Um, but
I
beyond
assume.
that,
I assume everyone is, but I'm not. I don't know for sure. I don't. I personally do not know any possessed.
you know,
If
mm,
hang on a moment, please.
um, uh, as far as the possessed go, it would definitely be difficult to tell. But with reading someone's aura, it could be possible
True.
to know who and what is coming in at what point in time.
True.
Um, are we wanting to have a ledger of who comes in at what point in time?
I think this will scare some guests since he wants to have a party where everyone's welcome.
Yes, and I don't necessarily think that a lot of us are going to get along. What are we going to I mean, I imagine that's my job if I have to break up a fight. Sure. Um, are they following? They're going to be following our rules, obviously, considering this is our Elysium.
They
And
they they don't know what an Elysium is.
I know they don't know what an Elysium is, but they are going to have to follow the rules that
Well,
is set by an Elysium.
yes, we're going. The only way to do that is to enforce those rules, and the second way to do that is to make sure that everyone knows our sacred Elysium rules. See where this goes wrong.
Yes, I can see where that would go wrong. Um,
So the only way to do this is to make sure that it looks as human as possible. People will find
okay,
ways
okay,
to hold weapons out of sight and stuff like that. People will try and smuggle them in. But the point is, it mustn't be easy. We're not thinking that it will never not happen, because it will happen.
we just have to make it so it's not easy for them to do that.
Yes,
Okay.
people and
Um,
supernaturals must know that there are humans here present as well. That's why they
yeah.
must also know that as soon as they're upstairs, those rules do not necessarily apply,
Okay.
because but ghouls could be there, and
Mhm.
of course there will be kine who are buying drugs,
Of course.
but
Um.
they can be easily overtaken.
Mhm. Um. For the lupines, it will be absolutely necessary that they don't lose their temper and shift in the middle of this party.
That's why I think they won't be able to make it.
Part of me is hoping they won't.
The aggression that they're always putting out might scare off the guests. We don't
Yeah, we
want
don't
that.
we don't want that.
In all honesty, I think everyone who is in knowledge, who has knowledge about what is going on, understands on some level that other sorts, other supernaturals are also fighting against this. And
Of
there is,
course.
of course, the old saying, my enemy's enemy is my friend, at
You know
least
that
for the time being. I wouldn't go too far with that.
the man who made that
Nor would
claim was a Shah from India. He died the year after, killed by his enemy friend.
I. The irony of that.
Hmm.
Um. Okay. As I guess I suppose the head of security in this case. Um. Do you want me to put a team together?
Yeah, I'm even
Okay.
going to make it even more difficult for you. Not only do you need to make a team together, they need to be competent,
Mhm.
and you need to. I advise you both request the seneschal to assist with your security people, not necessarily
I.
running of things, but the people.
Mhm. Okay.
Unless you want to vet them all by yourself, which I think
I
is
don't
possible.
necessarily wish to vet every single head that comes through this door, but I already have
I
somebody
will,
who I believe could help me out very much with handling security.
I will close the theater as an Elysium for those 2 nights,
Okay.
because then it frees up people that are normally running security there to be
Right.
here. They need to be
Okay.
instructed a few days before it actually happens. Everyone needs to
Mhm.
know exactly what
Okay.
is where and how,
All right.
and
Do
what they can
we
expect.
have cameras at all?
Nope.
They're
We
no
We
won't.
problem to get.
We won't have the cameras inside. We will have the cameras outside.
okay. Having cameras outside is good.
Yeah.
Um.
Ask Sebastian to do it. Maybe he
Oh,
knows the way
that's a
to
good idea.
get cameras inside. But I think if we put cameras inside, it won't have that Y2K look and idea she's looking
True.
for.
Okay. I definitely think having them on the outside would be beneficial. And since
Yeah. Then you can
Sebastian
see
is
people
the
approaching if it's bad news.
yeah, and since Sebastian is the uh best tech guy that I know right now,
Yep.
I'm definitely gonna um get with him about setting that up. Um
If he's helping without asking something for it, tell me. If he's helping and he's asked something for it, also tell me.
okay, I will.
It has to do with
Um,
him understanding the rules within our society.
of course. Have you been? I assume you've been speaking to him about the way boons work.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
He was somewhat aware, but not completely.
Mm, okay.
He is now
Al-
completely aware, but he's a good man.
He is.
Also, if there's reason for him to go either above or beyond, he uh definitely let me know. I can
I think I might be able to incentivize him to go above and beyond.
Yep.
I can
Um,
give him a nice little report.
of course.
Katrina kind of grins. She's just like getting into this harpy thing a little bit.
I do believe I have something he might be interested in. Um, okay. Um,
So there are three other things that I'm sure you haven't thought about.
what is
One
that?
of the thing is I've inspected the building, but before we actually run the party, there needs to be a building inspector actually available to do
Yes,
this.
that is
This
true to make sure it's up to
I,
par.
I'll fix that problem, but that's one
Okay.
problem I'll fix for you. The second problem I'll fix for you is the police. People normally be attending and watching the area. I'm gonna make sure they rather not or feel like it's okay to do that.
Also, complaints about the noise, etc.
Yes, exactly. And the third one is you need to have a permit to actually hold a very loud party. Yet again, the third problem I'll take care of for you.
Thank you. Of
Remember that.
course.
You said the police problem, the what were the
Building
other two? I'm
inspector and the permit to hold a party like this. Well, if we have a permit, do we really need to worry about the police? Or is the
Yes,
police simply for
the
the
police
issue of
is if something goes wrong, we
uh
don't want them to show up as quickly as
true,
they can.
true.
We want to be
Um,
able to keep this in within the wraps.
of course. Um, okay. Um, so if people show up with drugs, um, do we take that from them or let them keep it?
Oh, they can keep it, but they have to pay a fee,
Okay. What would you say a reasonable fee for that would be?
a
not
percentage of the profit.
Okay.
If, if
That
they want to sell inside, we take 30%. If they don't want
okay.
that, they can fuck off.
Is this going to be BYOB or are we going to be serving drinks as well?
well,
If
sir.
I was you, I would, with a party this size, I would externalize your drinks and bar. Don't bother with that. Let a company take care of that. So simply let them
Catering.
buy you. Let the catering company buy you out. It's not that
Okay.
much, but you
Yeah,
can say
catering is
that.
cheap.
Yeah, especially. But you have to tell them how big the party is going to be. You have to pay for
Do
the party, but they have to pay to come in. It will be fine.
do we have any idea of the number we would be expecting here?
Well, looking at the warehouse, I'm making an educated guess. With the size that you have, with the minimum things that we have. How many floors you want to use? Three?
Yes.
So say 150, 200 people per floor, three floors, 600. Say 650 people.
Okay.
That is not including personnel. Personnel will probably work into the 75.
Of course.
Say 320 people, 25 people.
Okay.
Oh,
That
sorry.
seems.
Did I say 300? I mean 625 people.
I mean, that's. I'm not sure how many people there are out there, but that seems reasonable enough to me.
You want
Okay.
you want to have kin there as well. People want to feed. People want to have enjoyment.
Of course. Of course. Um, if it comes down to it, well, I suppose if people are getting drunk and everything like that, then they're not necessarily going to be remembering if we're treating them like juice boxes or not.
Well, this is what we're. Of course not. Not if the kiss is nice, but if it's not, if something happens, trouble
Yeah,
happens. Be
yeah,
ready for trouble. That's the question.
of course. Um, okay. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? Um, okay. So put a team together. I already have a few ideas. Have you heard from Mr. Pinkerton
Not
as
yet.
jester?
I haven't spoken to anyone except Lady Charlotte.
That was
Hmm.
Charlotte speaking.
I know. He's saying that as
Oh,
if he's talking about someone else, but he's looking at her, like he's um, compartmentalizing it. So it means that he's talking about her, but in another form.
Yeah.
It's complicated. You'll get to that.
That's just the thing he does. It's okay. Um, so I have a few names that could definitely help me. Um, if you wouldn't mind putting me in contact with Pinkerton, I would very much appreciate it.
I can.
He's big, he's scary, nobody's gonna want to fuck with him.
You want him
Um,
as a bouncer.
of course,
Uh, I, he,
absolutely.
he'll work for something fun. Say, I'm not sure if you can get him a new kind of revolver or pistol, but I think
I don't have
he
those
would, he would,
connections,
he would.
but
Well, I'm sure you can find someone with those connections.
of course, I think Seneschal Beaumont might uh, have those connections.
Charlotte. Katrina will quickly wink at Charlotte, like, "Yeah, that's where you want to go." Yeah.
Oh, honey, I already know.
Okay.
Um,
I have no idea. So
yeah. Okay, so Pinkerton, Amboise, LeBeau, um, hmm, hmm, maybe, no, hmm.
what about Mr. Talbot?
That is a very good idea. He had slipped my mind. Thank you, Katrina.
There's there's a problem with Mr. Talbot.
Hmm,
What is that?
he sticks out like a sore thumb.
Not only that,
His
Well,
affiliation.
well, there's two problems with Mr. Talbot. The
What
first
is
one
that?
is he is running against Charlotte for sheriff. Am I right?
I was not aware of this.
I do believe so.
of
So he can be
course.
there, but he can't be in a leading position unless he's willing to take orders from Catherine. Of Charlotte, sorry. So
Yeah.
if he takes orders from Charlotte, it's fine. She'll be his commander, and that's how things should be, in my opinion.
Um, Pinkerton, Amboise, Talbot. Any other suggestions?
Uh,
In all honesty, if there's any, I know this probably sounds ignorant to both of you. If there's any kinfolk who are slightly friendly,
kinfolk.
Garu,
Kin, kin,
Lupin,
kinfolk.
I'm not dealing with that.
I'm not having. I'm not putting anybody that is not our people under my purview. They are
Nope.
not my responsibility, and I don't want to fuck with it.
It's a recipe for disaster.
very
It's a
well.
recipe for disaster, and I don't. I like my face. I don't want a lupine tearing it off when they get pissed at me telling them to do something.
Very well. They just are good bodyguards.
I, yes, yes, they are, but they have a temper that I don't wish to put up with, and I don't. Yeah, no. I might be old-ish, somewhat, but and I don't like it when people get mouthy with me. But I will. Charlotte really doesn't like lupines. She really, really, really doesn't like lupines. She's not dealing with it. Um, so myself, Pinkerton, Amboise, Talbot. Um, hmm, hmm. I'll have to see if anybody else comes to mind, but I think the three of us together um could make a good team. The only problem I have with Pinkerton is he's an independent.
That makes it better.
So I can see how it would. So and was is very amenable to me at the moment. Um, and if Talbot is running for sheriff, then I don't necessarily know that Prince Hennessy would allow an independent clan to run for sheriff.
If we pay him, that's fine.
I mean,
If you make an, I mean, technically, he is a member here under the supervision and
mhm,
the leadership of our current prince, which
mhm,
means that because this is the case, his um, his behavior should be according to every other kindred here under the
true,
tower.
very, very
So
true.
if he fucks that up, he's double fucked.
Yes, yes, he is.
But he is a
And
huge fan.
maybe I
Out
might
of
actually have. Mm, sorry, go ahead.
out of character, my connection dropped. What did I just miss for like a minute?
Not much. Charlotte was talking about how much she doesn't like werewolves, essentially. And then we were discussing um
Pinkerton and him
Pinkerton
running
and
the front of
Talbot.
the house
Yeah.
and Talbot being not completely involved.
Yes. So um who will be watching or collecting, I guess, or like letting people into the lounge? Do we have an idea for who that will be yet?
I know who it needs to be.
Who?
It's quite simple. Dr. Green herself, of course. She needs to be
Yeah,
the
I
hostess. She needs to be the star and the light of this party. She needs to be the face that people will remember when they come and when they go. It's her party. She's the star.
mhm.
Uh,
Charlotte will actually look at Katrina, and she looks kind of proud in the way that a mother is proud of her daughter for doing something extraordinary. Um, like Katrina's a neonate, Charlotte's an Ancilla. She's thinking of you as like a blooming flower right now, and it probably makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Katrina
Um,
will beam.
and she'll actually stroke your face and smile at you and uh, push your hair behind your ear and kiss you on your cheek. You got this, kiddo. Um, I expect good things. I expect great things from you.
I hope to deliver nothing less.
Of course. Um, okay.
is
Sebastian.
Katrina responding on the fact that she's just been called a star or the center of attention? Or she's used to that?
She hasn't responded to that yet. She just she kind of she if she could get a little bit red, she's kind of got a little bit red at the star
Since
bit,
you have lots of
but
health.
she knows that's kind of what's expected. Yeah, she has blush of health, so she could get a little bit red. Uh, but she the I hope to do nothing less to provide nothing less or whatever
Of
was
course.
to Charlotte for
Of course. And
and with
I
the
if
star
you
part.
wish, if you wish, I might be able to convince our Primogen to make an appearance here.
I still haven't met her yet. It would be an honor to have her as a
Oh,
guest.
she's absolutely lovely. I think you'll adore her. Um, but yes, Fleur loves a good party. Um,
I have to admit I was quite uh nervous to present the idea of tacky and Y2K, and she's doing those two
I
phrases in
honestly,
quote.
in a way, in a weird way, I think she would be rather amused by that, as I am myself.
She
Um,
it doesn't seem very fancy Toreador esque. It seems a little.
we come in all shapes, darling.
I just
Okay.
think I can't think of a better send off. In all honesty, it's just
I think you were wise to do that, or to do this. I myself, should we survive the end of the world, I'm possibly looking to throw a party myself. Um, and both of you are invited if you wish to come.
It will be an honor to attend.
Um, okay, back to business. Um,
I think our business is concluded. I think everything that we need to say has been said. So
um,
unless someone has some special arrangement they want to make
um,
sure of, I mean, I do understand that you want to make a guest list. That would be very Toreador.
I'm not so focused on the guest list as I am on my actual job right now. Um,
I can take care of the guest list myself. I feel like I'm not doing enough work. I just had the idea. Um,
okay.
uh,
Um,
thank
I
you.
will I will get with these gentlemen and see if they are open to the idea of helping me with security. I may have to barter a little bit, but I think I can get them all on board. Um,
I'm willing to barter with Talbot if you don't wish to deal with him.
I've only met Talbot on a handful of occasions. I am interested in Mr. Pinkerton, and I am, well, as I said, Mr. Laveau is very amenable to me at the moment. So,
So you can see Alexander is packing up his stuff.
okay.
Uh,
Um,
Very quick question, Alexander. When you said I'm to be the star of the show and such, for me, allow to be the person letting people into the lounge. Which did you mean? Am I to stand guard, kind of at the
No,
stairwell, or
no, you leave people. You leave normal guards to do that.
okay?
What I meant
we
with
can
that,
have we could have ghouls
yeah.
sitting
Well,
there.
what I meant with that is you need to be able to walk around your party and show your face everywhere.
Hmm.
But the only way you can actually do that in a proper way is not on the dance floor with all the lights going off and on. People won't see it. People will be in other worlds. But you need to be doing that in the lounge area.
Very well. I do plan on being at the on the dance floor for a little bit, but most of my time will be spent at the lounge.
I expect you to do nothing less but have a good time, dear. I will try and see if I can attend.
If you can, it would be wonderful. If you can't, it is understood. I do have a few. Uh, I actually have time lapse cameras, but I believe I could get small cameras to go into the lounge room or dance room
um,
in the corners of the ceiling and whatnot. I can
Don't put
possibly get a few hidden cameras up.
don't don't put them in the launch. First of all, people will look in the launch,
Okay.
especially in the launch if they're there.
and if they're there,
You
they're less likely to want to go in there.
use them, yeah, exactly. Use them on critical points. So that means all the entrances.
Yes. If you could get
And
me blueprints for the building, I would very much appreciate that.
all right, yeah. Um, we you need to be able to buy or make sure that there's a special team ready for you. And I don't have those contacts. Well, I do, but I'm probably too busy. Who can actually run your money because there'll be money flowing everywhere. Since people are going to be there to pay you, I'll try to be the person that they will come to in order to give the money to.
Hmm.
But if I'm not be able to do that, you'll need a someone you can trust, really trust, to take that money and have people to run that money to a certain place because you don't want to have all that money stored here if something happens.
I believe I can get that done.
Good. When the money's done, we'll make a balance out of it. and I'm sure at least us three will make a healthy profit if everything goes all right.
Of course.
Yes, the amount of help and delegation that you two have will definitely be a, I'm assuming, 33, 33, 33 split.
Hmm. Depending upon whether or not I can get those three gentlemen on board, it may come at a high price.
They that's the point. So get this clear. If you want those people on board, you have to pay them out of your own cut.
Okay.
Because I have to pay the people I need to pay in order to get the police off my hand. I need to pay the people
Uh,
to get the permits done.
I'm not
Those don't
talking
go
about.
for free.
I'm not talking about money.
Oh, right, boons and such.
Yes.
I
Right.
am
Am
I
I
am
paying
willing.
those? Am I paying those out of my own pocket as well, or
Nope,
do I?
nope. The one that's holding this, the one that's holding this party, the one who's responsible for everything,
Okay.
eventually, is Dr. Green.
Okay.
Exactly. I
All
will.
right.
I am willing to discuss any sort of boons necessary with you and whoever these boons could be given to. Whatever. I need you to delegate. I need you to. You have the contacts that I don't have.
Exactly, which is fine and understandable.
I am willing to shell out boons. It just depending on the topic and nature of them. That is all.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Okay.
both of you. That definitely goes for both of you. I'm assuming that the monetary bit is an even split between us. Further than that, it will end up landing on me.
Okay.
Yes,
Um.
it will, and then it will not. We'll see what happens. If the price is too high for one person to healthily pay, of course I'll back you up. I mean, after all,
I
we
can
are
make
on
the
this
pay if
endeavor
you
at
need
least
it.
together. But you need to be the face, so you need to make the first claim. That's how it works. Alex,
Exactly.
And and if
Alexander is pushing a button in his hand, and yeah, after that he's just waiting.
okay, um, Charlotte will look at Katrina and she just pulls her to the side a little bit and she's kind of essentially just praising the fact that she had this idea that she's going through with this, that she's wanting to throw this party. Um, she offers to buy your outfit for you if you wish. Nothing too expensive. Designer's okay, but no couture.
That would be wonderful. I
I might actually have a few things. I might actually have a few things I could let you borrow. You're not my size necessarily, but I think I can find something that fit you. Anyways, out of character. I gotta go.
Yeah,
Um, but I will see you guys later. Okay.
sure,
okay.
sure.
All right.
I
Bye.
can round it up in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna do a send off real quick once both of y'all are completed, so we
Yep,
can get.
Okay. I'm good.
go.
Alexander, did you have more to say in character, or are we good out of character?
No, we're good out of character. He's waiting for the car. That's what the button was
Okay.
for.
So this has been another scene from Vampire the Masquerade venue in Darkness and Dublin. Thank you all. Thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. Take care and good night.